This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. I don't know if you guys remember Stephanie Matto. We talked about Stephanie Matto before the holiday break.
The fart girl.
The fart girl. The 90-day fiancé fart girl. Yeah.
The greatest entrepreneur of all time.
Yeah, she made a small fortune farting into jars and then selling them. Yeah, that was her.
Well, she made like a couple $100,000 from doing this, if I remember correctly.
And that's all she's going to make, Steve. She's been forced into retirement due to excessive gas.
Well, wow.
Boy, it had to be fun to be around her because I didn't realize it, but it makes a lot of sense. She had a steady diet of gas-inducing foods, and that eventually caught up with her.
She was just hanging out with the Rev and I. Well, just by what we eat, it seems to create farts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Anything.
I mean, she said it was so bad it was getting hard for her to breathe. And every time she said if she breathed in, she felt a pinching sensation around her heart. She thought she was dying of a stroke or heart attack, so she went to the hospital, and the doctor's like, no, you just have intense gas pains. You are super gassy.
Stop eating the beans, lady.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they told her. They're like, look, man, they even gave her gas suppressant medication. Oh, wow, I didn't know they made that.
Yeah, it's like the gas X and stuff, and yeah.
All right, well, you know what? I have had gas X before. It's done okay. I wish it would be a little quicker. It's like, you want it to stop right away. And it's like, it's going to take some time, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need Gas X Extreme.
Yes, I do.
Gas Extreme.
Gas Extreme.
Pharmacy strength.
Yeah, right?
Made by Mountain Dew.
So she's done making money off the flatulency, but she's taking that $200,000 and she's going to invest in cryptocurrency. And she's also working on
the fart thing is a little bit more, guaranteed, but okay.
Yeah, right. She is working on a digital fart jar network. Not sure what that is. Is that like an NFT?
Yeah, it sounds like she's making NFTs for her farts.
Okay, I'm not.
I don't even know how that would work, but
I don't know what that means. I know. It's like every time we talk about NFTs, we explain it. I read it. I see the words. It's like Vicky trying to explain to us who LeBron James Jr. is.
Bronny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either, but yeah, good luck to her on that one because I think that I don't know. I just think that when people want to buy your farts and have them sent, I don't think the digital thing is going to be the same thing. I really don't. Unless you're sending pictures of you doing other stuff, I just don't know how that's going to work for her.
Unless they're going to let us know who the mascot is for the Kraken, I really don't want any interest in getting that.
Yeah, even then.
I'm kidding, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You just that's all. You really, really want to. Well, they were supposed to announce that, weren't they, Steve? Like before the holidays?
Yes. That's the thing we were trying to figure out, because there was a news report on Como, and one of the people that worked with the Kraken said we'll find out the mascot before the end of the year. And we're trying to figure out if that's the end of the year of hockey season, end of the year speak, or actual end of the year, meaning the end of 2021. Granted, COVID's kind of slowed some things down because a lot of games have been canceled. So I wonder if they did have plans, but they had to put it on hold.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, think about it. I mean, all those games are canceled. Yeah. And you're right, Steve. The end of the year, they could, in fact, mean the hockey season.
Which would be dumb. I mean,
he said by the end of the year. So that doesn't mean it's, you're right. You got to think that at some point, man, they got to throw the mascot out there and make a big deal out of it sometime this year, right?
I got to imagine sooner than later because, I mean, otherwise, like, why would you wait till the very end of the year and then not be able to capitalize on all the the merchandise and all the fun on the ice? Because people keep showing these pictures of stuff that's up in the rafters of Climate Pledge Arena, like tentacle-looking things that are probably going to be a part of whatever pregame show that will involve, I would imagine, the mascot.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm wondering if they're just waiting when it looks like, okay, we can't seem to win a lot of games. Let's do this.
What if they're waiting for the next time we win, we unveil the mascot, but they haven't won. So they've been having all those things up in the rafters. Like they were like, congrats, Kraken win. And here's Grungy or whoever the mascot's going to be. I'm hoping it's Grungy.
If that was their deal, they wanted to wait for a win, and then the team has decided, okay, well, keep waiting.
So I wonder if the people that bought the NFTs didn't get preview, because that was one of the things was that they put out there was like, if you buy one of the NFTs, you're going to get an exclusive look at the new mascot or hints.
I think they're going to give you hints, but eventually they made it clear to say that the NFT people aren't going to know the mascot before everybody else.
But I'm even surprised that there's not people on Reddit being like, oh, here's the hints. Anyone guess? Because I haven't seen that at all.
So, yeah, you're right.
Weird.
I feel like somebody would have leaked it unless they have to sign something that says, we know who you are. Don't do
NDA for the NFT.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking. A lot of letters means stay out of trouble, pal.
Someone said, I hate to tell you this, but I have a funny feeling about them hiring the guy from the Slapshot to play the organ. I believe he's the team mascot.
Really?
No. It's a joke.
That's what, well, maybe. I mean, listen, stranger things have happened in the world.
They're not going to have some random dude that lives in Edmonds that plays the organ. That's now
mascot.
He's the mascot. He wears a helmet.
There he is. That's the guy right there. There's a woman in Florida that posted on TikTok after she tried to order a COVID test, but the store was all out, so the Instacart shopper bought her a colon cancer test instead, because that works, right?
I didn't know I was supposed to find out I have COVID rectally.
Yeah. And people in the comments started listing funny substitutions that they've gotten through Instacart before. One person said they ordered broccoli and got 3 pounds of pre-cut cantaloupe. I didn't know this happens. I don't think I'm not happy about that.
Well, I've done some things where it's pick up at a store and they say, is it okay if we replace it with something similar if that thing's not there? I'm not really a fan of the whole picking it up because sometimes you don't know that they didn't get something until you get home, and then it'll be on the little sheet that said, oh, we didn't have this, so and I'm like, well, crap, if I knew you didn't have it, I would have went to the store myself and got it.
They don't send you notifications?
I have never gotten a notification. It's just when we unload all of our groceries, we've done it a couple times, and just because of Tatum and things are just too crazy, so Sid's like, hey, pick up the groceries. I did a thing at the store, and when I get home and we just take it out of the bag, there are a couple things that are missing. It says it on the little receipt, but they didn't tell us ahead of time.
Because I've purchased through some stores, and it will send me a notification, email, or in the app itself, and it'll say, hey, we ran out of this name brand version. Can we substitute this non-name brand version? And you can say yes or no, or you can just cancel it. And they won't charge you more. So if you got something that was not name brand and they give you the name brand version, they'll still charge you for the cheaper option.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that's a nice deal. You got to get on board with whatever the heck Vicky's doing.
It was Walmart.
Or I should just have they should have a little click thing that says, hey, if you don't have the fruits and vegetables, then just replace it with chocolate and popcorn or something stupid.
Yeah.
Babe, I don't know what happened.
I don't understand it, but here's some Hostess Twinkies again. Well, what are you going to do?
I thought we were getting Brussels sprouts, but we got Pringles. What do you want? We'll make the best of it.
It's very close, they look very much not alike.
Someone said I once ordered lighter fluid, and they sent me starter fluid for a car.
Okay.
Well, it's fluid.
Yeah. This one woman said she ordered tampons and she got Q-tips instead.
If you band them all together?
No, don't. No, thank you.
I'm not a doctor, so.
Yeah, you're not?
No.
I could have sworn.
Wouldn't that be funny to have that as your job and you're just trolling people? You're like, I don't care about this job. You fire me if you want. And they just kind of oh, they needed tampons. Oh, I'm just going to I'm going to put condoms in there instead.
I do see some of those Instacart people in the store when I'm shopping, and you wonder, because I see the looks in their faces. I go, oh boy, I wonder if they're just messing with this person right now because they don't look happy. I wonder if they're going to mess with this person's order.
One texter said I asked for 3 cans of tuna and we got 3 things of Spam. My wife was pissed. I was excited. LOL.
I love Spam.
It's meat in a can.
I haven't had Spam in forever.
We got to fry it up, put it some fried rice. It's delicious.
Oh, very Hawaiian.
Yeah.
I haven't had that kind of Spam, but I'm with you, Steve. I used to have it so much because it was my dad's thing, but it's been years. It might be. I don't know if I've had any Spam since he passed away, which is really wild because he was the only one that ate it.
Oh, we should have a party. We'll call it like Spamsgiving, and we all make different Spam things.
Oh, Spamsgiving.
I love this idea where you guys all make different Spam things, and I'll eat them. Yes.
You can put Spam in a microwave and call it a meal.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
Could you put Spam in mac and cheese? Because that's what your son could do.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think you can. Is that how we're going to finally get mac and cheese from him?
No, he still won't make it. He'll be like, it's going to hurt my stomach because he doesn't like meat.
Yeah, and I can't complain because he made mac and cheese again for Christmas for us, or Thanksgiving or one of those days. It all ran together, but it was good. Oh, so good.
Hey, going back to the mascot with the Kraken, somebody texted and said someone on Reddit was saying that it's going to be kind of like a Scuba Steve, Scuba Sam, deep sea diver guy from Sam and Renton.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw a couple people post pictures where it's like that nautical looking, like the astronaut, but goes like the Scuba Steve guy,
Yeah, the big old school helmet, with like the grate on the front and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I'm not opposed if done right. It has to be cartoony.
Yeah. Has to be done right.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. It's not a guy in tights that's wearing a helmet.
Right.
That one's going to take a while for me. If it turns out to be that, I mean, I understand because he's underwater, but...
And they call it the deep. The Climate Pledge Arena, like, welcome to the deep. So you're deep in the ground. If he came from the ceiling, like he's like, woo, and they have like that sound of water, like, whoop, 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 kind of a thing going. He's just like, whoa.
And then the tentacles come down and grab him.
All right.
I'm not opposed to this. I'm starting to like it.
I'm, you know what? I don't know. It's going to take me a while. I'm going to have to see it. It's not my favorite idea, but I may have to warm up to it. I feel I got so used to some sort of Kraken-based thing. Like I really, in my brain, I thought it was going to be like that. But now if it's just a dude, all right, we'll have to see what's up.
Well, that's the thing. It has to be a cartoony, like almost, like a plushy looking, like a mascot.
Oh, he's got to have a big head. He's got to look like he's a pop.
Like I don't want a dude wearing like some cheap Halloween costume. Like, hey, we're on a Kraken.
Oh, you don't want to do that? I feel like that's the best thing, like the old school ones we used to have.
Like some people are like, oh, it could be like a Davy Jones character. I'm like, no, I don't really want that. I don't want it to look human.
Yeah.
It's got to look ridiculous.
Well, he's a scuba diver is a human, so he'll just have to have a really big scuba head.
Exactly.
Your name is Steve. What if they ask you, we need a Scuba Steve?
Scuba Steve.
Yeah. I mean, all right, third time's a charm. Didn't work out as the backup goalie. Didn't work out as the backup in-arena host.
Yeah.
Now I become the mascot.
Or at least the backup mascot.
Now, you're not supposed to say things, right? And you're supposed to be nice to the kids. Do you think you can do it? You not talk and be nice to the kids?
Kids love me. What are you talking about?
I think we've been to a couple of your matches where, people have been, from what I can tell in all the videos, the kids are kind of not really digging you.
Let's forget about Owen. He flips me off. That's fine. But you know what?
Like, what about the F. Steve Miggs part? Or some of the
or the no daddy part.
Yeah. Your own kid won't even play with you.
You guys are either helping or hurting me. Right now it feels like you're hurting me.
Well, we feel like we need to make sure that the Kraken don't make a bad move is all we're saying.
I believe in you, Steve.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to help out a franchise that wants to make. So far, every decision the Kraken have made about the personnel has been the right decision.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody they've hired has been really spot on. I don't want them to make a mistake with their, with
Someone says, hey, the Gold Knights, it's a freaking dragon. Do whatever the hell you want.
Well, a knight does, can slay a dragon, right? And
they have a knight as well, but I don't like that guy. That guy.
Oh, you don't like the knight guy?
No, because he's human looking.
And
so you don't like the fighting Irish dude? I'm trying to think of everybody who's human that's a mascot. You're like just done with them.
I still think it needs to be Davy Jones, but not the human version because he's got a squid face.
No, that's weird, man.
Okay, but that's like Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't think Davy Jones never really looked like that.
Well, then there's the musician from the Monkees. You can make him look like that.
Oh, well, now I'm a believer. I'm there for that. Yeah, let's do that. All right.
There we go.
I'm starting to like the idea of like the nautical kind of guy coming from the ceiling.
That's only because you think you're in the running for the job.
Well, everybody is until they announce who it is, right?
Yeah. Someone's got to call Bruckheimer. This will be the worst entertainment decision he ever made if he makes you the mascot.
I couldn't do that, man. I'd be freaking out if I was at the top of Climate Pledge Arena coming down. They'd be like, what is this liquid coming out of this? I guess he's in the sea. So
he's
the effects are amazing. He's just shooting water out of his body.
Yeah, he sure is. Wow. Oh, gosh. Speaking of amazing water tricks, scientists have actually taught a goldfish how to drive. How so? Oh, I'll tell you at 8:20 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of the Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Wow, this is some wild news, and it's science. A team of scientists in Israel have successfully taught goldfish how to drive.
So they're not very busy over there, I'd imagine. I mean, we have nothing else that we need scientists to work on, but just whether or not a goldfish can drive.
I think this is cool. And really what is, it's brain science, because they really, what they want to know is they want to know how your brain will adapt to different terrains. Like, can you navigate if you're put in a different terrain than you're used to? And so they decided to test this out on goldfish to see if they could learn to navigate on land, because obviously they know how to get around in water, but what happens if they're on land and they want to get somewhere? So what they did is they built this small robotic vehicle with a fish tank on it. And by the way, Vicky and Rev, this is right out of Umbrella Academy. It's so nuts to me. It's like,
yeah, that's right. There was the dude with the goldfish head.
And so they put them in this robotic vehicle with the fish tank on it, put wheels on the bottom. That way it could move in any direction. They called this an FOV, a fish-operated vehicle.
Okay.
And
how much pot do they smoke, these scientists?
All of it.
Dude, but it worked, because the fish, if they swam to a particular, like the left side of the tank, then the vehicle, the FOV would move left. If they swam to the right side of the tank, it would move right. And what they did is they put a bullseye some distance away, where that if the fish could get to the bullseye, it would get rewarded with food. And the fish eventually figured out how to successfully navigate to the bullseye, to the point where it was able to do it in a straight line. It could swim in such a way it would make that vehicle go right in a straight line to the bullseye.
Well, that's great. How good is parallel parking, though?
See, now that I think you got to give the fish a little bit more time. They ended up actually teaching a few goldfish how to do this. So it's not like a fluke. Like, multiple goldfish learned how to drive this vehicle.
What are we supposed to do with this information? Like, what are we doing? Like, at what point in our lives are we like, did you know that goldfish can drive?
Dude, but it's kind of cool.
Well, I'm not saying it's not cool. It's just pointless.
They could figure it out, though. Like, you just figure, like, if, these creatures are dumb and they don't know what's going on, but, you take a fish out of water, literally, and it can figure out how to move around without being, in the sea.
What's he going to look for a car?
Yeah, so that doesn't do anything for you, huh?
Well, I just think, like, man, I'm glad that this science and this information wasn't out there back when I was learning how to drive, because I feel like my dad would have used it against me. He's like, what are you, stupid? Goldfish can figure out how to do this. You failed your driving test.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I feel like there's probably those goldfish are better drivers than me, so you're right.
But definitely better than Vicky.
Yeah. Wow.
I'd trust them over Vicky to get us fast food. They know how to get to point A to point B.
I'd like to argue, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wow, of course, that's nuts, man.
Is this going to be the plot to Finding Nemo Part 3?
Oh, right, yeah. So
Nemo becomes an Uber driver.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Times are tough. Got to pay the bills, man.
Right? Got to do what you got to do, man. All right. And then, Dory doesn't know where she wants to go every time. Nemo, wait, where do you want to go? I don't know. I can't remember. Hey, you're the worst Uber passenger.
Nemo's a DoorDash driver but refuses to bring people seafood.
Oh, yeah. No fish sandwiches coming from him. Yep. We got this is big news. A federal judge in California dismissed the lawsuit filed last year by Spencer Eldon, the kid on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind album. There we go.
See, not everybody served. At least somebody's thinking clearly.
Yeah,
that was the dumbest lawsuit.
Yes. Yeah, here's the thing, though. Spencer can refile an amended lawsuit, and that's what he says he's going to do. So it's not completely over.
I mean, I give it up for tenacity, I guess.
He wants money.
I know he does, but
money.
If they already shot it down, what do you think? He's going to go back and put like a fake mustache on and be like, I'm the other Nirvana baby. Like, I don't understand how he thinks this is going to go.
Well, the thing is he's got some lawyer that's with him on this. Like, that's the thing. There's some, ambulance chasing situation. And he sued everybody he could here. I mean, he sued the estate of Kurt Cobain. He sued Courtney Love. Yep. He sued the band's producer, art director, record label. He sued everybody. And they're like, no, that's not going to work. No, peace out.
Do you think he's doing it because at some point he's just hoping that a member of Nirvana is just going to give him the shut the hell up and leave us alone money?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep bugging them until finally, like, here, kid, here's $100,000. Now leave us alone.
I don't feel like Dave Grohl is going to blink. At least he's not going to be the one to do it.
Oh, Chris Novoselic not going to do it. He probably doesn't even care. He's probably just out doing whatever Chris Novoselic does with his own, personal plane or whatever. I think.
You're right. I mean, out of all the surviving members, it's Dave that's the most visible. Right. He's like, you're right. The other guys, what do they care? And I just feel like Dave he won't say anything. He won't be mean, but I don't think he's going to give in. He's just, because I think it's just like, come on, man. Because the idea is this. He's saying that I was too young to give consent for the use of this photography. But when you think of all of the babies used, all of the young children used in any kind of form of advertising, I mean, come on. No one's going to side with him on this, because then you'd never be able to have little kids and little babies involved in anything. Well, they could never be in movies. They could never be in anything.
I mean, the parents are the ones who let it happen. So, I mean, I don't understand. Like, just tell your parents I'm not happy with your decisions when I was a child.
And I want to, and I'm tired of him using this child pornography thing, because that is not a pornographic image. I'm sorry. I mean, child pornography is a real issue. And I hate it when people desensitize it or, really mitigate it by these ridiculous lawsuits, because it's a real issue. And this is not child pornography.
No.
So, I mean, you just make it like you lessen the severity of real child pornography. And I hate that.
And also, I mean, in the past, he's tried to, he's got the tattoo that said, I think he has a tattoo that says Nevermind on his chest. He's tried to make money and profit off of this. He's taken photo shoots with it. It's just like whatever way the wind blows is the decision that like Danny said, it's all money based, but it's just frustrating. How great would that be to be able to say that, hey, I'm on the cover of one of the most iconic records of all time? Like, I think that's such a cool thing to be able to share with people for the rest of your life. Like, your legacy is there forever. I mean, Nevermind is forever going to be looked at as one of the great records, and you're the cover of it.
Well, and if you went in the right direction. Like, if he would have taken it differently as opposed to just, like, suing them, which maybe he's tried in the past because I think that was part of the story. But at the same time, it's like, they would probably really embrace it to some extent. Like, if he was just cool about it and was like, hey, I'm the baby, they might, like, bring him up on stage, or, you're not going to get money from it, but it might be, like, a cool experience because
they can have a dunk tank and he can recreate it at the shows.
Exactly.
Go by the soundboard and dunk the baby.
Dunk the baby.
Who's an adult now?
Okay.
Well, $5.
I was a little worried there. Okay, it will be the adult we're dunking. Okay,
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to get inside that guy's mind just to know his true intentions. I know money is part of it, but why? Why all of a sudden am I making this such a big deal? When it's been fine for so many years, unless he's just like, I just want a cut of album sales, which is silly because you were paid or your family was paid or asked or however it all worked out. I know there's a whole backstory behind it, but they agreed to it. Not knowing that it would ever become this monster album, but you didn't do anything to make that a monster album. You're just a cool cover art. Yeah, it is. Like you're absolutely right. It's not like you wrote Polly and handed it to them when you were a baby.
Do you? But we all know somebody. We all know somebody like this guy, though, don't we? Somebody who just thinks they should get more than they deserve, and then they don't want to put any effort into getting anything. They just feel like it should be handed to them. There's always somebody like that I've known in my life. It's like, dude, why don't you just go out and put some effort into whatever it is, and then maybe stuff will happen for you. But it's like, no, I should have this, and they should have done this, and he just reeks of that to me.
Yeah, and someone brought a good point. You never hear the Van Halen baby complaining. No, that baby has never had anything bad to say.
Do we even? Have we ever even? Have we ever even known who that kid was? You're right.
1984 baby.
Yeah, I mean that kid. That's a very iconic image too. I don't ever remember hearing even people go, "Hey, here's that dude," like showing pictures of. Here's that dude now.
Wouldn't that be great if that baby made a statement and said, "Hey, Nirvana baby, shut the hell up"? And there's like now Nirvana baby beef between them and the Van Halen baby.
Well, it was a different time. 1984 as opposed to, 1990, whatever it was.
So was that? Nirvana's Nevermind came out like 91. Yeah. So that baby's just a few years older.
Yeah, 7 years older. Yeah, but it was a different time, Steve.
Carter Helm was the name of that
Carter
baby.
Helm's the 1984
awesome
baby?
It was like his older brother, like legit, like these two, and like one's mad at the other. Like,
oh, man. How crazy would that be if it was the older brother who was like, oh, hey.
So whatever happened to that guy?
This is an article from 2012. He was an ocean cargo and inland marine insurance writer. And he even says...
there he is. There's a picture of him, right?
Yeah, and it was not until I was in the third grade when it kind of hit me that the cover was something special.
That's the way you should be looking at it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been great if this story was like Van Halen hooked him up with $10 million because of this? Like that's what triggered this guy. It's like,
that would be fantastic if he got a cash payout.
Or like $1 million when he became an adult.
Yeah. We should, that would be, I so hope that would be the case. That would just make me just see Spencer seething.
Honestly, though, like if it were me, if I were the baby, I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't want money, but on the same token, I would just want like a big cover album so I could just put it in my room and that would just be that's me anytime I bring a girl over or whatever.
In college I had the Nirvana t-shirt that was the cover. I would just wear that every day.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, see this? And like, yeah, it's a Nirvana record. No, that's me.
Yeah.
Buy me a beer.
Buy me a beer, please.
He should have gone to Nirvana and said, let's do a charity for babies. Some charity, and I'll be like the Nirvana baby raising money for babies. And that's what he would say. It's like, I want to do something like that. What do you guys think? Something like that would have endeared him, and who knows? I mean, maybe he could have ended up getting a paying job.
I got a feeling that this guy's rather annoying to the band.
Oh, he's very,
And they're probably like, whenever he reaches out to them, like, oh, he's the girl.
He's annoying to me, man.
Someone else. Someone other than this Spencer kid. He's so annoying.
So that's the latest in the Spencer drama from the Nirvana baby is that the judge threw out his latest case, but he's going to rework it and try to go back and sue somebody else. I say, you know what? Steve Miggs should be the next guy on the list.
Yeah.
Sue me?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, have the T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
I did.
You did wear the T-shirt.
Damn it. Joe,
next one.
delete that. Don't put that on the Daily Podcast.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post.
We don't need that information
Steve
out there.
Miggs ruined my life by wearing a T-shirt that exploited me.
What would you say? What would you say is like one of the? Because I was like, that album is like one of the most iconic album covers. Mm-hmm. What do you feel like would be a more? What would you put on like your iconic album cover list?
Ooh,
like I think of that one and the debut record from Rage Against the Machine.
Okay.
That is like one of the most powerful. It's with the guy that's burning.
Oh, yeah.
That old picture from, I can't remember exactly where that was from, but it's a powerful picture, and that's their cover. And I remember when I first saw that, I was like, well, who is this band? That's, to me, is when a band has a cool album cover and you don't know anything about the band, but the album cover is kind of what like starts your first impression of the band.
Oh, the Buddhist monk.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Set himself on fire.
Yeah,
that album cover it's like, what the hell is this? And then the first song is Bomb Track, and you're just like, this band's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to go way old school. You're not going to appreciate it, Steve, because you don't appreciate this band, but it's
Eagles.
They've had some good covers, but I was going to go Boston's first album with the flaming guitars in space like spaceships.
That was pretty cool, though.
That was a cool looking album, very iconic. Definitely from my late teens, no doubt about it, in the late 70s.
Blink-182's Enema of the State.
Oh, with the porn girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
How many people still do that album cover every year for Halloween? It's fantastic.
I always respect any girl that dresses up as the Blink-182 girl.
So great. Yeah.
Is it bad that I'm basing like iconic status on Target T-shirts? Because I see everyone with the Dark Side of the Moon T-shirt, or the Rolling Stones, the mouth cover, the tongue thing. I see a million people, whether they like the bands or not. I swear, like everywhere.
60% of the stuff that's sold at Target right now has that tongue on it. I don't know I don't know what's going on with them and the Rolling Stones, but it's like everything has like that tongue.
And it used to be just mostly in the guy section, but now in like the teenage girl section, because like I wander through there sometimes because I'm short and sometimes that stuff fits, and all of it's Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I'm trying to think if there was what was the name of the album that actually had that logo on it. I don't think it was Sticky Fingers. I don't know if I don't know which album it was where it was just that big set of lips like that.
You know, one for me, I always whenever I'm listening to the record, I listen to it a lot, and I always look at it and I'm like, man, what a statement they made. Metallica's first record, Kill 'Em All, with the blood. And that was the hammer in the hand. It's just and also knowing like the backstory of originally wanted to call the album "Metal Up Your You Know What Ski," and they didn't do that. So
they couldn't do that, huh? That's interesting.
It felt like they probably sell more records when they named their record "Kill 'Em All."
Yeah, it's how about that's a better change.
The one that the album cover that kind of blew my mind was Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power with the dude just getting punched in the face.
That's a great album cover. Also, let you know what this band's all about.
Exactly. It's like you're about to get punched in the face. Here's proof.
You know, dude, the Black Crowes, was it Amorica?
Oh, yeah, where they had to airbrush the extra hairs out.
Well, they had two different versions. Yeah, they had the version, because it's just like an American flag. And one version, everything around it's just a triangle of an American flag, and then it's all blacked out. But the original version is it's an American flag bikini bottom.
There we go.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Because it's like it's showing like the old '70s style or the current style, BJ. Because I know you're a grooming.
Oh yeah, it's coming back, buddy. Yeah, I mean she's well groomed. There's no doubt about it.
I'm sure the blacked out version's pretty cool too, just because it just looks like it's just like a square flag.
Ah, that's funny.
It's how funny.
That's right,
Do you not pay attention to the cartoons you watch with your daughters about shapes and colors?
I'm telling her that she could think if she wants a triangle to be a square, she can have a triangle be a square.
Vicky,
2022.
Just checking.
What year was that album? I mean, just to think that it had to be that had
late 90s, maybe
1994.
1994. Okay,
it's not that way, isn't it? We forget that. Granted, I mean, it's a long time ago to other people, but there was stuff going down in '94 that was still very repressive. I mean, we think about tonight, times today and what everybody's doing, and yet '94, man, which isn't that long ago, we were still fighting to be able to talk about stuff and do stuff, and it was to think that would actually be like censored now is insane. A little bit of hair in that area, who cares? Now, it's just nuts.
But that was a big deal. Like
it was.
We couldn't sell. We can't sell this record at Walmart, so you got or wherever like the family friendly record stores. So they had to do that version.
Well, dude, it's interesting because and I know, Ellen I think she's doing her wrap up, right? Is this her last set of shows coming out, or last year she's doing it? And she had Oprah on and Laura Dern on, the actress. And Laura Dern, I guess, way back in the day on Ellen's sitcom in the last few episodes, played her girlfriend, and they decided to say, okay, here's Ellen's girlfriend. It was in the 90s, and Laura Dern talked about how she was blackballed in Hollywood because she did that particular role. And I'm like, wow, that was the 90s. You couldn't have a storyline like that, and Hollywood say, F you can't work because you did that part. I was amazed. I was like, that's not that long ago.
Like the world shut down when we saw what was Michael Chiklis's butt back in those days.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot it. You're absolutely right. What was it? Not Michael Chiklis? You're talking about Dennis Franz, right?
You mean with,
some guy?
NYPD
It was
Blue.
Dennis Franz and his booty.
Some guy that played a cop, right?
Yeah, Michael Chiklis was in a different cop show.
It's a whole different show.
No, I just freaked out.
You're talking NYPD.
Hey, you guys knew what I meant. If I wanted to be Michael Chiklis, and if I wanted to be a triangle, be a square, I could do whatever I want.
I had to really figure out what you meant.
Boo.
Thank you,
because
Rev.
I was like, Michael Chiklis. Wait a second, and then I was like,
Dennis
I think he's talking about.
Franz.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
I forgot about that guy.
And this would be that was the dumbest thing ever, because Dennis Franz was like a heavy set. I mean, it was the butt that nobody wanted to see, and everybody went nuts. And it was like, well, I mean, really? Okay.
Yeah, NYPD Blue.
Dude, I mean, Jacksonville canceled the show. I remember I was working in Jacksonville
Of course.
at the time doing a radio show, and I couldn't believe it because, I mean, like I was born in the North. So it was like the idea that would cancel a show, and they canceled it. It was like, we will not show this in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm doing radio there. And I remember saying to my wife, I'm like, I just can't believe this is happening in today's society. This is insane to me. It's a stupid butt.
Dude, that's why I laugh when we're like, today's society is so soft. It's not like how it used to be. I'm like, no, how it used to be. We didn't have social media, so people weren't able to quickly complain about it in front of everyone. Like the amount of letters to like the television networks back in those days they got, that was like a massive meltdown. Could you imagine social media back then?
Oh, wow.
Being around when that happened?
I'd rather not.
Right.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing, Steve, because social media, when it started out, was for the outliers. You know what I mean? It was like the mainstream people weren't using social media at the beginning. So I got to think that mainstream people probably would have outlawed social media. They would have said, this is the tool of the devil. That's what I would think going back in those days, because when you think of like Will Wheaton and all those folks, they were the kings of Twitter long before what we got now. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's, I wonder if social media would have been allowed because, people would have been able to speak freely. And then,
sure it would have been. I mean, people were like handing letters to the editors. Like it was just nowadays, that's our new version of it. But like,
it's just a lot quicker, and everyone can do it.
It's nuts, man. I mean, it is. You're right. It was back then, man. Wow. I mean, that's why I like to think that as bad as some people think it is now, I mean, I remember those days in the 90s, and I'm happy that, Ellen can now be hosting one of the most popular shows that's ever been done in that genre, when back then, I mean, basically her show got canceled pretty much, and Laura Dern couldn't work, and it was just like all because Ellen was like, hey, this is who I am. Why, can I entertain you now? I mean, man, that was not a long time ago. Damn. All right, well, let me just tell you this. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
What phrase appeared on all United States currency after 1956?
In God we trust.
Yes.
Nice going, buddy.
Trust.
Yeah, I like how you did that little flair there. Mm-hmm. You want a shot at beating Steve? All right, you got it. 206-421-ROCK. Steve style. We'll play Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I'm getting my wages garnished. Can bankruptcy help with that?
Absolutely. One of the big reasons people file bankruptcy is because they have a judgment or a lawsuit against them, or their wages are getting garnished, and so they can't pay their other regular ongoing bills. People sometimes think that you can't file bankruptcy once they have a judgment against them or once a garnishment has started, and that's not true. Filing bankruptcy will immediately stop any garnishment that you have going, except for child support, and stop your creditors from continuing on with garnishments of your bank account, your wages, and in most cases will discharge that liability through the bankruptcy process. And we can file a bankruptcy case for you usually the day you come in.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream, the Arctic, frigid, desolate, unforgiving. And without canine companions, early humans never stood a chance. Discover how man and dog learned to thrive together where neither could survive alone in Ice Dogs. Plus,
why would a Nazi major be protecting and saving Jews?
Against orders, against time, the SS major that sheltered and saved thousands of Jews. It's the Good Nazi. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.